Welcome students once again into the class of number theory, and we are doing the chapter of binary quadratic form. First of all, I want to apologize because in the previous video someone entered into my room and I could not prove the last theorem properly. I had to stop the video wherever I was proving the theorem. So I will complete the theorem here and then I'll move ahead. In the previous theorem, I wanted to show that x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0 is the only solution. There is no other solution for the binary quadratic form fxy. So what the reason was, actually we are having fxy is equal to ax square plus bxy plus cy square. Now multiply both sides by 4a to get 4a fxy is equal to 4a square x square plus 4ab xy plus cy square. I have written, given some gap there. The reason being, this term can be written as 2ax whole square. The second term can be written as 2 times 2ax into b. Now, to make it a perfect square, you are having a square plus 2ab, and now you need b square plus b square, so minus b square will have to be there. And what you are going to get here is that this term will also be multiplied by 4a, so 4ac square. Now, this portion will become 2ax plus b whole square, and then you will get minus b square minus 4ac, and y square is also needed here because it is y here, so it is not b square, it is in fact by square, and here also it will be by square, so it will be y square here. So this will be the value of 4a fxy. Suppose if there is any other solution where x and y are not both 0, so let x is equal to x1 not equal to 0, y is equal to y1 not equal to 0 be a solution. Then what will happen, this fx1 y1 will be equal to 0. That means 4a times fx1 y1 is also equal to 0. That means this term is equal to 0. So what you will get, 2ax1 plus b whole square, by, because y is also there, to by. So by square, y1 square, minus, you will get b square minus 4ac y1 square is equal to 0. What is this? This is your discriminant d. And what is the value of d square you are going to get from here is 2ax plus by1 divided by y1 whole square. You are going the value of d to be equal to this. This is your d, not d square. So d is this. That means d is a perfect square. And this is a contradiction because in the statement of the theorem we were given that d is not a perfect square. So it is a contradiction. And why this contradiction is there? Because we have supposed that there is a non-zero solution of this binary quadratic form. That means in that case the binary quadratic form cannot have a non-zero solution. So this was the theorem that I was proving in the previous video, and now I'll continue on to the more theorems, more results, more lemmas based on this binary quadratic form. So let us see what the next theorem says. The statement of the next theorem is the binary quadratic form fxy is equal to ax square plus bxy plus cy square is positive definite if and only if d is less than 0, the discriminant, and a is greater than 0, c is also greater than 0. This we are to show. So let us move on to the proof, how to prove this theorem. Here, what is your fxy? We have seen in the previous theorem that fxy can also be written as 1 by 4 2ax 1 by 4a 2ax plus by whole square minus dy square. You can write your fxy in this form. Now, what is your f10 and what is your, suppose f is positive definite, because in this theorem we are having here if and only if, that means we have to prove the straight proof also and the converse part also. So first I am proving the direct part. I have taken that it is a positive definite and I will prove that d is less than 0 and a is greater than 0, c is greater than 0. Now f is positive definite, that means every value that is being assumed by this binary quadratic form is positive. So that means f10 will be positive, f01 will also be positive. In fact, every value is positive because it is a positive definite form we have supposed. What is f10? You take x to be 1, y to be 0 here, and what you are going to get is a. So a is greater than 0. Similarly, f01 will give you the value c. So c is greater than 0. So this part is being proved that both a and c are greater than 0. Now, the second part, that d is also 0. Sorry, d is also less than 0. This is remaining now to be proved. Your fxy is 1 upon 4a and then 2ax plus by square minus this minus d. I am going to write it as 4ac minus b square. I have changed the sign, so I have changed the sign outside also. Y square. This is your fxy, and this is given to be positive definite. That means this is always greater than 0. And a, we have proved that a is 0. So this means you can remove this portion. So left of the portion must also be greater than 0. This should be greater than 0. This is a perfect square, so it is positive, no problem. This is a perfect square, so it is also positive, no problem. Now, if this portion is positive, here you have to give some more concentration. If this is positive and this portion, if this is your, let me write here minus d, because otherwise it will create a little bit confusion. Minus d. Now if we want to prove that d is negative. If d is positive, suppose if d is positive and this portion dy square is greater than 2ax plus by square, it will become negative. Listen carefully once again. If your d is positive, that means dy square is positive, this is also positive. Now you are getting a difference of two positive terms. One positive term minus second positive term. If the second positive term is greater than the first one, the result will become negative, which is not possible because the form given to be positive definite. That means this d cannot be positive. This d must be negative. This d must be negative. So this is the first part. And now let us move on to the converse. Conversely, suppose your d is given to be less than 0, a greater than 0, c greater than 0. This is given now. And what is your fxy? Your fxy is 1 upon 4a 2ax plus by square minus dy square. This part is not difficult at all. This a is given to be positive, so that means 1 upon 4a is positive. Now this is a perfect square, this is positive. Minus d, since d is less than 0, minus d is positive. So minus d into y square is also positive. This is positive, this is positive. The whole bracket is positive. Outside you are getting a positive term. So that means this is greater than 0 for all values of x and y. That means this is a positive definite form. So this was the theorem. That was the first theorem of the day today, because earlier we have just proved the theorem that was left in the previous video. And now I am going on to prove another theorem. Let us see what the next theorem says. The theorem says if A, B, C are all integers in the binary quadratic form, fxy is equal to ax square plus bxy plus cy square, and the discriminant d is greater than 0, then the form is indefinite. Then the form is indefinite. This we are to show. So we will consider two cases. Case 1, if A is equal to C is equal to 0, if both A and C are 0, what will happen? So it is the first case. When A and C are 0, what you will get? You will get fxy is equal to bxy. And what is your d? It is b square minus 4ac. Both A and C are 0, so you will get d is equal to b square. And since d is given to be strictly greater than 0, it is not 0. That means b is also not 0. So this gives you that b is not 0. Now look at what is your value of f11. You substitute x to be 1 here, y to be 1 here, and you will get b. Similarly, find the value of f1 minus 1. x1 and y minus 1, you will get minus b. Since your b is not 0, definitely one of b and minus b is positive, the other one is negative. That means your binary quadratic form fxy can assume both positive and negative values. So in this case, the binary quadratic form is indefinite. Let us see the other case. The other case when either A or C is not 0. Either A is not 0 or C is not 0. So we will consider the two cases one by one. So sub case 1, you can say, sub case 1, when A is not 0. If A is not 0, then what is the value of f10? Substitute here 1 0, you will get the value to be equal to A. And what is the value of f of minus b and 2a? F of minus b and 2a. Substitute the values here. You will get a into, your x is now minus b, so it is minus b square, plus b into xy. X is minus b and y is 2a. Then plus c into y square. Y is 2a square. So what the value you are going to get now? It is minus ab square minus 2ab square plus 4a square c. That means you will get minus, one of the terms here is, sorry, this is positive. So it is minus ab square plus 4a square c. Take out a common, and you will get minus a common, you will get b square minus 4ac, and b square minus 4ac is d. So it is minus a d. Since d is given to be greater than 0, now value of f10 is a and it is minus ad. So d is positive. That means one among a and minus ad is positive and the other one is negative. So once again, in this case, we have proved that it can assume both positive and negative values. That means once again, it is an indefinite binary quadratic form. Similarly, the other case when your c is not equal to 0. C is not equal to 0. Try to find the values of now f of 0, 1 and f of minus 2c and b. And once again, you will see that one of the values will come out to be positive, the other value will come out to be negative. That means in this case also, you are having a binary quadratic form which is indefinite because it is assuming both positive and negative values. And then we are going to prove another theorem. Let us see the statement of the theorem and then we will move on to the proof. The statement of the theorem says that, write down the statement of the theorem and then we will prove on to the proof. Let D be a given integer, let D be a given integer, then there exists at least one binary quadratic form, with integral coefficients, and discriminant D, if and only if D is either congruent to 0 or congruent to 1 modulo 4. Once again, when we move on to the proof, one thing is clear, that we are having here if and only if. So when we will prove directly this theorem, we will suppose that the condition is given and we will show that these are either congruent to 0 or congruent to 1 modulo 4, and then we will take D to be congruent to 0 or 1 modulo 4 and we will prove the converse of the theorem. Here your fxy in general is being written as ax square plus bxy plus cy square, and its discriminant D is b square minus 4ac. One thing is to be noted, that whatever the value of b is, b square is either congruent to 0 or 1 modulo 4, because if your d is even, then it is 2a, and 2a whole square is 4a square, so 4a square is congruent to 0 modulo 4. And if your b is odd, suppose your b is 2k plus 1, then what will be b square? Will be 2k square plus 1, that means 4k square plus 4k plus 1, and since these two are equal, you can take them congruent to each other modulo 4, and when you are working with modulo 4, any multiple of 4 can be removed, so you can remove this term, you can remove this term, and you will get b square is congruent to 1 modulo 4. So your b square is either congruent to 0 or congruent to 1 modulo 4. And if you are working in modulo 4, I am writing b square a little bit here. Now you are working with modulo 4. That means you can add or subtract any multiple of 4. So I am subtracting a multiple of 4, that is 4ac, because a and c are integers. So it is a multiple of 4. Now b square minus 4ac, it is d. So your d discriminant is either congruent to 0 or congruent to 1 modulo 4. So we have proved the direct part of this theorem. And now I am moving on to the converse part of the theorem. Conversely, there are two possibilities. One is the possibility when d is congruent to 0 modulo 4, the other is the possibility when d is congruent to 1 modulo 4. So once again, I'll have to take these two parts one by one. So conversely, first suppose that your d is congruent to 0 mod 4. That means 4 divides d. And if 4 divides d, this means d divided by 4 is an integer. So d divided by 4 is an integer. And now consider this binary quadratic form, fxy is equal to x square minus d by 4 y square. Consider this binary quadratic form. Now this is a binary quadratic form where what we need, its discriminant to be equal to d, and you can check easily that the discriminant of this binary quadratic form is d. So we have, if d is congruent to 0, we are having a binary quadratic form, at least one binary quadratic form, which is this one, x square minus d by 4 y square, which is having the discriminant equal to d. You can check it. And suppose the second case, when your d is congruent to 1 mod 4, that means 4 divides d minus 1 now. And if 4 divides d minus 1, this means d minus 1 by 4 belongs to z, that means it is an integer. And in this case, consider this binary quadratic form fxy is equal to x square plus xy minus 1 of d minus 1 by 4 d minus 1 by 4 y square. Now once again, it is a binary quadratic form with integral coefficient. 1 the coefficient is integer, 1 the coefficient is integer, and minus of d minus 1 by 4 is also an integer because d minus 1 by 4 is an integer. And you can check it very easily that the discriminant of this binary quadratic form is now d. So in either case, whether d is congruent to 0 mod 4 or d is congruent to 1 mod 4, we are having at least one binary quadratic form with discriminant equal to d. So with this proof, with this theorem, I am going to end this video here. In the next video, we will have more and more theorems, more and more results, more and more questions based on binary quadratic forms. Till then, thank you once again.